Straight ahead on the Nightbeat, tell them you love them. A couple's routine turns into a tragic nightmare. The husband and wife killed in a crash, now remembered by their sons.
And a twist tonight in the tale of a missing teen found safe 8 years later. The questions being raised about his disappearance and what happened after he was reported missing.
Plus, finding somewhere to go. A San Antonio animal shelter is scrambling to house their dogs after its AC unit broke. The progress made so far and how you can help.
But up first tonight, a big break in the case of a deadly apartment fire that took the lives of 5 people. San Marcos police say they have now made an arrest in connection with that 2018 fire at Iconic Village.
And police have called a conference tomorrow morning. Tonight, the night team's Avery Everett looks back at the 2018 tragedy and tells us why it's been so difficult to solve this case.
In the early hours of July 20th, 2018, flames ripped through the Iconic Village apartments in San Marcos. By the time the fire was out, 5 people were dead and hundreds more were displaced. Now investigators say they've made an arrest in an investigation that has lasted nearly 5 years.
Just a total shock.
Officials first said in late 2018 that they knew that the fire was set intentionally, but at the time they didn't have any suspects. The apartment complex lacked sprinklers or smoke alarms because it was built back in 1970 when those were not a requirement.
I had friends that lived at the Iconic and they actually had to jump from the 2nd story and her roommate broke her ankle jumping.
Some information still has yet to be released to preserve the ongoing investigation. Even as time has passed, officials have said the investigation is still top of mind.
We're going to be here for you.
Also top of mind, the 5 victims of that fire: Drew Estes, James Miranda, David Ortiz, Haley Frizzell, and Belinda Motes, all 19 to 23 years old. 7 people were physically injured and hundreds of others directly affected by that night.
It's terrifying. My adrenaline was just pumping the entire time, keeping me going.
Now a promise made almost 5 years ago.
That's why we're going to search until we know that we're done.
Nearly kept as officials move one step closer to finding closure for the victims, survivors, and their families. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
And the body believed to be that of a missing boater on Calaveras Lake has been recovered. The man has only been identified as a 36-year-old Army Staff Sergeant. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says the victim was fishing with 2 friends on July 4th when he fell overboard but never resurfaced.
From what we're able to gather, it appears that he did panic somewhat, which led to his death.
And the man was said to be in good physical condition, but not a strong swimmer. The sheriff says he was not wearing a life vest when he fell off the boat.
Also happening in Bexar County, a 5-year-old is on life support tonight after nearly drowning on the 4th of July. Deputies called to the Valley Ranch Community Center in West Bexar County Tuesday evening just before 5. It's still unclear right now what led up to that incident.
An Atascosa County man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and her roommate is now charged with capital murder.
Sheriff David Soward says Rosendo Montoya confessed, and deputies believe he had planned that crime for weeks. Deputies say Montoya stormed into the home of his ex-girlfriend Mary Hines last Wednesday night, shot her roommate Laura West, and then set the living room on fire. Firefighters found West's body, but there was no signs of Hines. Investigators were watching Montoya when they saw him throw 2 trash bags into a dumpster yesterday.
My investigators went into the dumpster and retrieved the 2 black plastic trash bags and found they contained partial human remains.
And Montoya is now being held at the Atascosa jail on a $1 million bond.
Back here in San Antonio, we now know the name of a 5-year-old boy who was killed in a multi-vehicle wreck Tuesday night. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identifying that boy as Tony Tran. He died around 7:30 last night. The car he was in suddenly slowed down and was rear-ended by another vehicle. The boy ejected from the back seat. The driver of the car he was in, 22-year-old Doan Khan Tukmai, is now facing a manslaughter charge in Tran's death.
San Antonio police are investigating a deadly shooting they say stemmed from a love triangle. It happened inside a home on Pelican Landing in the Mission del Lago neighborhood this morning. Investigators say a couple was home when a man showed up at the door. The man inside the home and the visitor who showed up got into an argument, and the man who lived at the home shot and killed the man who came to the door. No charges have been filed, but the man who pulled the trigger is in police custody for questioning.
4th of July fireworks that weren't properly extinguished being blamed for a post-holiday fire that damaged 2 homes. This happened early this morning on Knobsby Way. That's in a neighborhood near West Military Drive outside Loop 1604. Fire officials say it started in a trash can where firework debris was still smoldering. It eventually spread to the fence before spreading to both homes. Both those houses suffered damage worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thankfully, though, the residents managed to make it out safely.
We were a few degrees, quote unquote, cooler this afternoon compared to where we topped off yesterday. 95 degrees was the high here in San Antonio. That's pretty much on average for this time of year, but we were able to find a few isolated showers and non-severe rumbles of thunder float across portions of south central Texas, including Bexar County today, which is why those temperatures weren't able to climb even higher out there earlier this afternoon. Now, most of that activity has come to an end. We'll be pretty quiet through the overnight hours. We've got one more decent chance to find some widely separated showers and downpours into tomorrow afternoon before high pressure takes over and temperatures build into the weekend. We'll get you all those details coming up in just a few.
Don't take time with your loved ones for granted. That is the message from 2 sons who are deeply affected by the loss of both parents in a single car crash. It happened Sunday night on Old Corpus Christi Road near Highway 181.
Lifelong friends, they grew up with each other.
It was a love story their sons like to share. Esmeralda and Alex Villaseñor met when they were just 11 and 13 years old.
They were soulmates. My parents been together since they were very young.
Every Sunday, the couple in their 60s had a routine.
There was their thing. They'd go to church. After church, they'd go eat breakfast. They hang out for a little bit, and then they head over to the bingo.
A police report says they headed home from this bingo hall on Highway 181 and Old Corpus Christi Road around 10 that night.
And then so by 11:30, I was getting worried.
The sons eventually got the tragic news. Their parents were killed in a crash. The San Antonio police report says their sedan was struck as it pulled out of the parking lot.
Don't be in a hurry.
Their dad's words of caution recorded in their memory.
You could wait an extra minute or two. Don't be in such a rush.
Tonight, they urge families to appreciate every second of life.
Cherish your loved ones. Make sure you call them every time you get a chance. Hug them. Tell them you love them. Because you might not get another chance.
And the other driver involved in the crash is not facing any charges. Investigators say it appears this was a tragic accident. And we're learning new details about a Houston man found alive more than 8 years after he was reported missing.
Yeah, Rudy Farias spoke to police today nearly a week after he was found. He was originally reported missing as a 17-year-old back in 2015. A local activist told reporters today that Farias says he was home the entire time. Quanell X walked him out of the hotel where he was interviewed today. Quanell says Farias told investigators, quote, horrific things about how he's lived the past 8 years.
We asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And she said that he wanted his own life. And his exact word was, I was tired of living like a slave.
Houston police say they also interviewed Farias' mother today. They are expected to give an update on the investigation tomorrow.
The body of an 8-year-old boy who fell off a boat has been recovered from Lake Travis. Travis County deputies told an Austin news station dive teams found the boy's body Tuesday night. What started as a rescue mission became a recovery mission yesterday. The boy not wearing a life jacket when he fell off of that boat on Monday.
Sentencing is underway for the man who shot and killed 23 people at an El Paso Walmart. Patrick Crucios pleaded guilty to 90 charges related to the 2019 hate crime. Half of those charges are federal hate crimes. The 24-year-old purposely went through with a massacre in an attempt to kill immigrants. Crucios originally pleaded not guilty, but later changed his plea after federal prosecutors said they wouldn't seek the death penalty. He could still get the death penalty if he's convicted on state charges.
Let's take a look now at some of the day's top headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. Police in Shreveport are investigating a mass shooting that left 4 dead at a 4th of July block party. 7 others were hurt in the shooting Tuesday night. At least 1 person listed in critical condition. Right now, no arrests have been made. The victims have not been identified. Meanwhile, in Salisbury, Maryland, police there also investigating a mass shooting that killed a child and sent 6 other people to the hospital. Police responded to a block party there just after midnight. A 14-year-old boy was killed. The other 6 victims are still recovering in the hospital. Police have not arrested any suspects in that case. And a federal judge has banned several Biden administration officials and other federal agencies from contacting social media sites about certain content. Agencies and officials are no longer allowed to talk with companies about taking down content containing free speech. However, the government can still contact the companies to address national security threats or as part of their efforts to curb illegal activity. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Still to come on the Nightbeat, finding fosters. A San Antonio animal shelter is scrambling to put dogs in a safe home after an emergency at their shelter. See how you can step up, help.
Three weeks. That's how long AC repairs could take at San Antonio Animal Shelter. And with triple-digit temperatures back in the forecast, San Antonio Pets Alive is now doing whatever it can to help keep those animals safe. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas takes us inside their already overcapacity facilities.
No air conditioning means a major problem for San Antonio Pets Alive. The AC at its rescue center went out Sunday night.
With that rescue center being out and it being such an integral part of our organization, serving as additional time for the dogs that are on the euthanasia list, it's just heartbreaking.
Stephanie Paz Perez with SAPA explains 13 puppies and 50 dogs were evacuated and taken to their much smaller medical center on Marbach Road.
I forgot to ask, is Freckles potty trained? Yes. Fantastic.
Thanks to the help of foster families, they're getting by.
If I had to be in a building with no air conditioning all day in this heat, I know I would be uncomfortable and I wouldn't want to put an animal through that as well. All the dogs here are super sweet. I wish I could take them all, but I can't.
Just 9 of the dogs from the rescue center are staying at the other location. Meanwhile, repair work continues.
Typically, SAPA's rescue center is full and loud. Right now, it's empty, and the only noise you can hear are the fans and the temporary AC units, which have brought the temperature down to about 79 degrees. We're told these AC units will randomly shut off, and have even caused the breaker to flip, costing SAPA $1,500 in vaccines that have gone bad.
Animal Care Services knew, the city knew that this was going to happen. Parts were ordered 2 months ago, and within that time span, unfortunately, it ended up going out. The Freon is not staying. We have about 3 weeks left until we can replace that AC unit.
And with the temporary lack of space, San Antonio Pets Alive is having to limit the number of dogs they can currently help, which is why they are desperately still looking for foster families and donations. If you're interested, we'll have both of those links on our website, KSAT.com, at SAPA's Rescue Center. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, taking a live look outside, 85 degrees, a lot quieter out there than it was yesterday at this time, right, with all the 4th of July celebrations.
Don't see the skies lighting up as much as they were this time last night. A little cooler tonight, too.
Yep, and something else that we did find in the sky, at least today, was a little bit of rain for at least portions of south central Texas. It wasn't for everybody, but a few lucky folks were able to tap in to some of that activity. This is a look at the 12-hour rainfall estimates here by the radar, your Weather Authority radar. And you can see, yes, even here in San Antonio, some of us did miss out, unfortunately, but we'll throw on some rainfall estimates here. You can see a pocket of just over half of an inch out there on the far west side, west of Leon Valley in the Highway 16 corridor out that way. Another pocket of at least half of an inch estimated there near Alamo Heights. The same just to the southwest of Kirby. By the way, SA International officially recorded just over 1/10 of an inch of rain with a downpour that moved through earlier this afternoon. So we'll definitely take what we can get. Another pocket of some heavier rain just to the south of Shiner out there in Lavaca County, south of Gonzales as well. And another healthy downpour was was able to push through far western Wilson County, generally to the west of Highway 181 earlier this afternoon. Now, as we were talking about in the 5 and 6 p.m. newscast, after the sun goes down, we lose that daytime heat, and then whatever is left out there on the radar typically fizzles out. That's what we've seen here this evening. Just can pick up the bats out there in the Frio Bat Cave in Uvalde County. Now, we're not finished with the rain chances. In fact, really, we just have one more decent chance to find a few widely separated showers, maybe a non-severe rumble of thunder or two pop up tomorrow. But then after that, high pressure is going to take back over. Those rain chances are knocked out of the forecast, and triple digits are expected to work back into the area really by the end of the upcoming weekend. So let's go ahead and time it all out, starting off with your KSAT 12-hour forecast for your Thursday. Mid to upper 70s first thing tomorrow morning, mostly cloudy skies into the lunchtime hour. Those temperatures climbing into the mid 80s, and then into the afternoon, only low 90s expected here in San Antonio because of that 30 to 40% potential to find some of that rain activity. Now, once again, it's not going to be for everybody tomorrow, but here's the latest version of your futurecast depicting what the radar could look like throughout the day. By wake up time, 7 a.m., not a whole lot going on, maybe a very stray shower. We've got about a 10% potential there. We'll bump it up to a 20% potential by late morning through the lunchtime hour, and then watch what happens into the afternoon. By the peak heating time of day, by about 3, 4, 5 o'clock, there's that 30 to 40% potential for some widely separated showers. Again, we're not expecting any severe weather. This is just your typical run-of-the-mill summer shower and storm activity. High pressure over the eastern Gulf, but this is the catalyst behind that rain chance tomorrow. A little area of low pressure in the far western Gulf of Mexico, helping to slingshot some additional moisture and energy into our neck of the woods. But as we take a look just off to our west, another big blue H, an area of high pressure. It's actually going to move ever so slightly farther off to the east as we head into this weekend. So that means that, yes, those rain chances come down. And here's your temperature trend. By Friday, we're in the mid 90s. By Saturday, we're back in the upper 90s, and those low triple digits return as we head into the end of the weekend and even into next week as well. So 93 tomorrow, not looking all that bad when you look at the rest of the extended forecast. We'll definitely keep eyes on that. And hopefully tomorrow, guys, we'll see some more sights just like this one with some rain shafts out there in the distance.
Just a typical Texas summer.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Mia.
All right, Spurs looked really good in Sacramento tonight.
Dominated 2 games, and they beat the Lakers on the second one.
Yes, they did.
So that's like a bonus right there, isn't it? When you beat the Lakers? Sure is. We'll have that for you when we come back. I'll show you how the Spurs beat the Lakers tonight. Fast and furious to start and ended up with a strong finish. SAFC hoping a Players Gold Cup experience will pay off for them. Coming up.
Champagny has a heat check. And Champagny is raining threes here in Sacramento.
Julian Champagny picked off right where he left off. He made 5 threes on game day. The Spurs playing their second and final game in Sacramento, taking on the Lakers tonight, and they got off to another pretty quick start. This is one of last year's first-round draft picks, Malachi Branham, down the lane for the bucket and the foul. Then Julian, there he goes, having another big night for the 3, the foul, the 4-point play, 12 in the quarter. The Lakers did go on an 18-1 run. Spurs finally answered. Javante McCoy with the bucket. Spurs up 1, 29-28, second quarter. Branham again, the jumper. And then back up a little bit. There we go. How about way out there? Got it. He had 15 in the first half. Spurs are up 5 at halftime, 55-50. Take it to the third quarter. How about this dunk by Blake Wesley? Move out of the... Oh, don't even try it. Yeah, there you go. Don't try to block that. That tied it to 60. Champagny got active again, nailing the 3. Spurs were up 84-71 at the end of third. That was San Antonio's biggest lead fourth quarter. Lakers on a run and cut the lead to 2. Then Malachi makes the jumper. Spurs increase their lead. Then some D. Dominic Barlow gets the turnover ahead to CD Sissoko on the break to Wesley for the finish. It's a 10-point lead again. Spurs win it by 10, 109-99. They won both games from the California Classic. So let's take you inside the locker room with our own Larry Ramirez.
All right, I'm here with Malachi Branham. And Malachi, first of all, how did it feel to be back tonight with your teammates?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. You know, I was sitting down the first game, but it felt amazing to be out there with my teammates.
And then you opened the scoring, driving between two bigs, getting the layup and the hoop. Talk about that and the foul.
Yeah. You know, that just, you know, me concentrating, getting to the and one. You know, a lot of work in the weight room.
What was it like for you to be back out there with Wesley?
Yeah, no, it felt good. It felt good. You know, they opened, they let me play my game, and it was fun. It was fun being out there with my guys.
And then you guys talk about your fight. You went down. I mean, this was a close game, and you guys still ended up winning.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we started out the game hot, and then we kind of got relaxed. So that's when they came in and started hitting shots. But once we kind of buckled down and started to lock in again, we kind of took control of it.
And then last thing, what are your thoughts now as you guys head to Vegas?
Yeah, just keep the same mindset. Play as a team. And if you open, shoot it.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, best of luck in Vegas. Thank you very much. Okay, back to you.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. The Spurs on their way to Vegas as we speak. Larry will be packing up and headed that way tomorrow, and they'll be ready for Friday night, 8 p.m., Thomas and Mack Center, when they take on the Charlotte Hornets again. And just in case you were wondering how excited fans are to see Victor Wembanyama, not just Spurs fans, we're talking about basketball fans all over the place. According to the NBA game Friday night between the Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets in Vegas, sold out. That'll be Wembanyama's first game in a Spurs uniform. The marketing firm Zebra Partners telling us today that those tickets for the first game were anywhere from $186 to $618 per seat. This is Summer League. The NBA telling those ticket holders to get there early so you can get their seat. The Thomas and Mack Center holds just under 19,000 for basketball. It's the Summer League. According to ESPN, the Spurs completing a three-way trade today with the Celtics and the Mavericks. The Spurs getting Reggie Bullock from the Mavs and an unprotected first-round pick in 2030. Bullock is a 38% three-point shooter, averaged just over 7 points a game last season. He's 32, 10-year vet, will make $10 million this year. The Mavs get Grant Williams and the Celtics a couple of picks. Hey, San Antonio FC trying to work their way up the standings, and they got a lot of help for the climb coming up. San Antonio FC getting in some work before heading out of town for a match against Memphis on Friday night, and also getting a big boost. He ain't Elvis, but maybe he will play like a hound dog. We're talking about Shannon Gomez. I see you raise your head on that one. Thanks for getting that. Shannon Gomez, who is back with SAFC after playing for his home country, Trinidad and Tobago, in the Gold Cup. It was a great experience for him, and he said he's bringing some of that knowledge back to SA.
Good experience. Good experience for me. Good experience for a lot of new players that is now new in the national team fold. It was my first Gold Cup. Definitely took a lot from it. A lot I can learn too as a player, add that to my game, and be the best possible player for San Antonio FC.
All right, they're coming off a win in their last match, 3-1 over Birmingham. They are still in third in the Western Conference. Kickoff on the pitch in Memphis, 7:30 Friday night. Thanks for the Elvis reference. I appreciate it.
I was paying attention. I wasn't.
Sure.
We'll be right back. Finally tonight, if finding one penny brings good luck, imagine running into this. Michigan State Police say this armored truck spilled hundreds of coins along an expressway today.
My kids would be in heaven here. They say the driver couldn't stop in time for a traffic backup, causing the truck to clip another vehicle and roll into a ditch. The truck's driver walked away with minor injuries, and the people in the other vehicle were not hurt.
Hope they had some magnets or something to pick that stuff up. That's
seriously. All right, so we are in the 80s right now, temperature-wise. We're going to start off tomorrow in the mid to upper 70s. Daytime highs headed for just the low 90s tomorrow afternoon, with that 30 to 40% potential to find a few widely scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms out there before the day is done. After that, just a stray shower possible on Friday, and then you can see for the back half of that extended forecast, plenty of sunshine. Not really any rain chances, and those temperatures crank back up into the triple digits. So that summer feel, y'all, definitely returning.
I'm going to enjoy the last of the July cool down. That's it for the night.
Brace yourself, right? All right, we'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 a.m.